Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to weightlifting, and I haven't weightlifted in a long time. And this session was the day after the pig squat session. So, by all accounts, I should be completely thrashed. But we talk a lot about plateaus and how to break through them on this channel. And one of the things that I always talk about is novelty. And not just like in exercise selection, but scenario, places you can train. This is a different gym. I'm training with Dylan. I haven't trained with him in like over 2 weeks at this point. I haven't done any snatches, haven't done anything, remotely like Olympic weightlifting in a while. So having that novelty in, I didn't really have that high of expectations. I just tried to move as good as I can. Something I always say is low expectations, high standards. So right now we're doing snatches, and I know that because I did an insane amount of volume, literally the most possible volume I could have done in squats the day before, that I shouldn't have done this well. So I'm really just trying to be as fast as I can, because lately I haven't been moving fast. I haven't been doing explosive things. I've been predominantly bodybuilding and some strength training mixed in with that. But I'd say 90 to 95% of my training is bodybuilding training. And you guys are going to see later on, I take my shirt off and you can see the difference here in my physique. I'll do a little comparison. But yeah, we're just building up here and things are going okay. But I just did not feel like I should be snatching well. Dylan is moving better and better every time I train with him. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is probably my best rep. It's only 100 kilos, but it flies. And of course, Dylan is just so fast, lightning fast. Something that he does really well is he retreats his hips back after making contact. He can bring them back really fast. So I missed this rep stupidly, and it's because I'm trying to be fast. I'm not really lifting. I'm just trying to move as fast as I can. And one thing Dylan says, he just says legs here, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to use my legs. And then I get it right there.
The faster your quad and knee action is, the more likely you are to be efficient. It's a byproduct. Yeah.
I kept that portion in because I thought it was an interesting thing that I had said and that Dylan and I were talking about. When you think about extension in the legs during the snatch or the jerk or even the clean, you might think that the lifting of the bar comes from the extension of the legs, but really it's and when I say legs, it's usually knee joint, so extension of the knee. But what I've found is the faster that you can extend your knee, the faster you can extend your hips. The more that those two things align, the more I think about slamming, pushing the floor down as hard as I can, the faster I can throw my hips and extend them as hard as I can. And here, we'll watch Dylan here by what I said earlier, is that he can extend his hips and then pull them back. Watch how fast he pulls his hips back. Boom. They come back after he makes contact. And that's something that's really important. It's not just about violent, long extension. It's about how you can extend it and then flex again. And there you can see my elbows are soft. I've got those. Definitely think bodybuilding is getting in the way of my lockout at this point. It wasn't before, but yeah. So I go for 126 here. I'm tired of hitting 125 all the time. And I remember this one, I had really soft elbows. But given the fact that I haven't snatched in over 2 weeks, I'm not mad about that. And he just is not slowing down at all. So now I go for 131, just, an odd jump because I don't want to hit 130. That one really wasn't even close, so I stopped it there. Here's Dylan with 140. So this next snatch from Dylan might be the best looking snatch that I've ever seen him hit. Let's watch that one more time. This speed here is just... Yeah, I mean, his timing on that is just impeccable. All the way up to 145. No misses. So now we move on to clean from the blocks. However, I'm actually going to do hang power cleans. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this exercise. So I'm using straps here, and this is an accessory. I've done a video where it's called the best accessory for the clean. And that's how I treat this. Basically what I do is I hinge at the hips, and then I bring the bar to just above the knee, and then I actually pull from there. And what I feel is a tremendous amount of stress on my traps and my biceps. And this is something that has always helped me in the clean. It's always helped me just be able to grow my traps and feel connected to the bar in the clean. I think a lot of times people, they're so focused on technique that they just forget how to control the bar in the second pull. Now, a lot of you are going to be asking or saying that, you know, I've heard that it's not okay to use straps in the clean. And that is true. Usually it's not, but if you're catching power, which means above parallel, it's not an issue. And especially if you have the mobility to do so. When you start to catch a little bit lower, it can get very dangerous. I would not suggest it. So guys, like you can see with my shirt off, I'm pretty proud of the progress that I've made. There's Dylan with 150. I'm going to pause it right there while I'm standing at the top. I think, you know, my arms are bigger, my chest is bigger. I'm just, in general, much bigger than I have been before. And that is due to the fact, like, I'm actually giving bodybuilding a shot. Like I'd said earlier, you know, I'm 95% of my training is bodybuilding, and I do that with my buddy Chris. We do that in the mornings usually, and like it's just your standard bodybuilding training. In fact, I have a little abbreviated program as to what I've been doing on my Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Zach Tellender. I just posted a 6-week bodybuilding cycle. You guys can check that out. It's very simple. But if you can see here, like, while I'm doing this set, you know, like, comparing this to my old self, my buddy Jake just sent me this picture of me, like, 3 years ago. And, you know, I'm not, like, it's hard to recognize me. So the low blocks for cleans, it's a nice tool, because that first pull in the clean is incredibly stressful. It's not as stressful as the snatch insofar as you're not as, you know, compensated in your starting position. But because the load is so much more, you know, it creates almost the same level of stress. So by raising the bar up just like a few inches, I think it's like 4 or 5 inches here, it makes a tremendous amount of difference. And what Dylan is looking for is just heavy weight, and he doesn't have to deal with a big first pull to get that heavy weight. That's why you would do a lower block clean. So here's 140. Nice 180. His speed, he's just so fast. Like, So here's 150. Started catching that pretty low. So I moved on from there. And I think this is the last set from Dylan.
Yes.
190. Guy's looking sharp. So then I went on to deadlifts. You can kind of see like my physique just a little bit better from this dead on position. So here we have 495. Should be pretty easy. Now we go to 585. This is the first time I've ever done that jump, 495 to 585. Actually moved pretty well. So I was like, you know what? Let's go for a PR. Next set, 625. That would have been a 5. This would have been a 5-pound PR. Sorry, spoiler alert, I don't make it. So yeah, guys, honestly, not a bad session, all because I did something novel. I trained with a friend who I haven't in a while in a different gym, got excited, did different movements, still was able to push myself. Go out there and do it yourself. Love ya. See you guys next video.